Hey everyone, Ammo here for more free-to-play fun series to take a look at. Free-to-play games, see if they're worth your time at all. And we're taking a look at Card Hunter. And Card Hunter, this game was originally released in 2013 as a Flash game, as a browser-based Flash game. Originally started with just the founder and the only employee of the Blue Manchu Games, the company that made it, Jonathan Che, who's co-founder of Irrational Games, responsible for the Bioshock series. So talented guy, obviously. And he has some good backup. There's old employees from Looking Glass and Rational, and as well as consultants for Magic the Gathering. We're going to talk. It's a card-based game. There's a lot of cards going on, so there's a lot of good talent there, and a lot of appropriate talent because good games and good cards. And then the game was just recently moved over to Steam. Steam servers are now hosting their own version of Card Hunter, and that's what we're taking a look at. Because I mostly stick to Steam games for the series, just for I don't know convenience, I guess. But I actually remember seeing this game in the browser version, maybe in 2013, 2014, and I didn't have too much interest in it. It looked fun, but I was like, man, I don't want to deal with this interface. And it's like, I'm a browser, and I don't want to make an account and all that garbage, so I'm just going to not bother. And I kind of regret not bothering, because I'm actually having a surprising amount of fun with this game. It's a lot of content, a lot of really interesting stuff. So what's going on here? It's a D&D inspired game, Dungeons and Dragons, old tabletop games. I mean, old. See the artwork is kind of a old style. See, we have this table here with the adventures that we can choose on, and we can drop our little peg on. Let's drop our peg on the Diamonds of the Kobolds. New mission I've already done before. So you get a little bit of a background, like what you're going to do, and it's not exactly a narratively driven game. It's not, which is different from Dungeons and Dragons. You do you've ever played a role playing game? You're in there with your buddies and you're following a story and you're building your characters. And this isn't like that at all. It's like mostly an aesthetic thing. The whole Dungeons and Dragons cover, that's just like an aesthetic thing. There's not really many role playing elements beyond the combat. You have levels and items and stuff and all that, but we'll get to that in a moment. There's not really any story choices to go on, which I guess I kind of expect, honestly. It's not too surprising. So here's the combat. It's these very little I don't say minis, because little paper figurines cut out some little pegs, some the grid-based boards. So it's a grid-based map. You have block terrain, difficult terrain. You can right-click to check because it's not always immediately obvious. And then you have characters. You can choose. There's 3 different classes with 3 different races. So it's 9 permutations of a warrior or a fighter. Yeah, warrior, cleric or priest, and a mage or wizard, whatever. And you also have human, dwarf, and elf. So here we have a human, warrior, and cleric, and an elvish wizard, because that's what I made. You get a variety of cards. We'll talk about the cards, the deck building and itemization, level up, and all that after the battle once we get our treasures. So here we go. We can choose. You have a character, single player. You have a character. You can choose any character to go with whatever card you need them to use. So we'll just run up here with our warrior a little bit. Kobolds will run up on him. I think we want to get our priest in here to back up our warrior. I have a lot of kobolds to fight. There's someone got to use an attack card. We also have armor to prevent some damage. Some of it you can keep. So once it prevents damage, it sticks around. And some of it requires dice rolls. So there's also a bunch of dice rolling, which would sound familiar to anyone that's played any sort of Dungeons and Dragons-esque game. We don't really have many attacks here. We have really not much going on in the attack department. Throw on some armor on our warrior. And he just, alright. Didn't take any damage from that. This is not going too well. Can't hit this guy for half his health, but we blocked it. And that particular card also hurts us, but only if it does damage. Actually, it's blocked, so we're fine. We got that part. And they're trying to come around here. This difficult terrain. There are movement rules. If you move into difficult terrain or into a space adjacent to an enemy, you have to stop moving. So this will slow them down. But maybe not enough. Make them ditch some cards, hopefully. Nope, they didn't have any cards to ditch. Because I had the wrong group selected. Yeah. See, these groups, when they're fighting multiple enemies, they actually come in groups that share cards. If they play a movement card, they all move together. Otherwise, they have to individually use attack cards. But they share one hand versus your group, obviously. Each character has their own deck. And I'm going to try and get down to 2 cards. You can only keep 2 cards at the end of a round after they have to discard extras before you draw new ones. And you can see we get our 2 draws per turn each on these characters. Guess we can TK this guy out there, mess up his movement a little bit, and then just end the round. That was a really rough first turn. We didn't get much in the way of useful items. That is a long spark. That's not going to help us. This is a ton of move. Our elf is very mobile. Alright, let's... we have, once again, pretty much no attacks here. Let's finish... How much health does this guy have? Okay, we can stay here and face that way. This guy will go down to 1. We have nothing... We can long spark him after that. Alright, so let's stab him. You have different cards, have different... Hey! Yeah, Spike Great Mail, that's how we'll kill them all. You have different cards, have different effects. Like that was a penetrating card I used, so armor piercing. You have things like hard to block, so it subtracts if they try to block the shield, makes it harder to block. You have cool cards like healing and then moving healing, move away healing. We have command cards, so we can projectile Sonic, creating a card for an ally and giving it to them. There's a lot of really interesting. Like I said, they're getting consulted from Magic the Gathering people. People experience Magic the Gathering, because there's obviously a lot of card design ideas being thrown around there, and it really shows in some of these cards. You need some healing. Actually, our cleric got beat up a little bit. Kill that guy. Oh, once again, we have like no damage. Let's put on a attack card on me, and I can actually maybe hit one of these guys. 4 damage. Take this guy down to half, and he blocked it. What a jerk. So I think we're pretty much in some trouble here. That's not going to help. That does 2 damage. That's not going to help us at all. I think we just have you move away to get some healing. They can't do anything about it. And then you move back. And you can move back again next turn. It'll be fine. You can do... Yeah, then you can get up here and do a little bit of damage. We can have you skip up here. Get it? Skip there. Do your spin. Squeeze in a little bit of damage and jump back. And then we can end the round. We can discard our mobility card. One note about the mobility cards, you always draw one every turn. You always have at least one mobility card. You can draw extras, as you can see there, but you always have at least one. And there are also trait cards, which you are forced to play when you draw them. They're normally beneficial, but you also get curse type cards. We'll talk to them. I got 2 of them. Talk a little bit more about that when we talk about the inventory system, which maybe I should let off with, make this all clear, but you'll see it once we're done with the combat. You'll see what I mean with all these different kind of cards and abilities and curses and all that. Thank you, Spiked Mail. You're the best. And now we can run you back up here, keep them away from our mage, who actually has, once again, like no attacks. You can get rid of start of each round, so you do want to get rid of arcane feedback. Yeah, we can shoot at this guy, because arcane feedback has a... Oh yeah, I forgot she has massive buffs. But, well, that's just arcane. If you go back, I get it. Go back here. Yeah, block roll, so it makes these make arcane attacks harder to hit, and electrical attacks more powerful. Now it's an arcane attack, so it's harder for him to block. But he took the damage, so we can stab him in the face. And he parried it. Block melee, draw a card. Ouch, that's really painful. We can throw down a healing pulse, get some healing in here. Yeah, pass the turn. Now, once both players, you can keep the round goes until you're done playing cards. So you pass. If you don't play any cards, you pass. If the enemy then chooses to pass, that ends the round. So as long as you or the opponent actually does stuff, the battle continues. So you say he's passing, and if I pass, it ends the round. So I can run around, and I don't need to anymore though. We shall simply end the turn and drop off some of this mobility that we don't need. And I have some AoE in here somewhere that would be really good against these kobolds. It's just not coming through. We need to keep blocking this choke point, protect our mage. All that spiked armor is actually doing a lot of damage for us. Alright, our mage needs to move up a little bit. Here she has some shorter range magic here. You can see, yeah, just hit him. You see here range, you have range and damage on attacks. A lot of melee is 1 damage, but there are a couple different types of melee. And the piercing attacks that my warrior's kind of using right now tend to... Oh, he blocked it. Except, didn't block it enough, because that consequence of this block... Oh, where is it? Jarring block. Don't right-click on this, just click... Come on, game. Block any, take 2 crushing damage. So I blocked it, but then the crushing damage killed him anyway. But yes, the piercing attacks tend... The cards with a lot of piercing tend to have some longer range, kind of spear-like deals, so... You have a lot of that going on. And now we're starting to do some damage. We didn't get any... And, you know, being a card game, it's kind of consequence of being a card game, right? Sometimes you need to get draws, and you're just not getting the draws. And is the sound too loud? I swear, there's something weird going on with the sound. Let's turn down the... Let's turn up animation speed. Also, let's turn down ambient. Oh, no, that's music. That's animation speed. That's volume. Okay, I got this backwards. Ambient volume, go down. Get music volume, okay. Another healing pulse, or kind of... Don't need much healing, honestly, but... Guess we can clear all that. Now we don't need to do anything, we just end the round. So after discard, like I said, you can only have 2 cards, so some strategy, what you can keep, what you get rid of. And the armor that has keep, usually end up keeping some of those, keep your defenses around. And then, it's not uncommon to ditch your mobility, because you always draw a mobility card. Otherwise, you have to, yeah, some strategy, what you keep and what you get rid of. Sometimes you want lots of mobility, so you have to keep your mobility cards. And the armor might not be enough to actually save you, so you ditch the armor. Got some more traits. This is a bonus piercing damage trait. This is a heal all your allies around you trait, so it's a very good trait. And I think now we have enough to... You're at 3 health, we can... Oh yeah, we have a lot going on here. So you spark that guy. He's dead. And then you can... That'll be 4, 5. You have a lot of health. But you can finish this guy. I'll finish off this group. Alright, that's fine, yeah. We have lots of armor going on. 3 armor cards, thank you very much. Just enervating touch, 5 damage, 1 range, also heals us. Which don't need the healing, but still solid. All the armor's so good. And the armor doesn't say keep, if it blocks. If you have armor, I think these are all keep cards. Yeah. If you have armor, there is armor that you don't keep. So if the armor blocks, it kind of just breaks and falls off. Kind of how the blocks work, all the blocks. Or at least all the blocks I've seen work like that. You also have hybrid cards, so this is a hybrid assault movement card, so you can move 1 and attack. It's penetrating. It's a really great variety of cards, interesting cards that I'm really enjoying. I'm not even a huge card game player. I do like card games, so I don't play Hearthstone every day. I'm not huge. Not a huge card game player. Ditch the run, the reliable hide. Some of the armors, yeah, have the rolls on it. Don't need cautious sneak. That requires us to end our movement next to a wall, I believe. And get rid of 1 dashes. That gives us healing. Oh, so good. And now we should... Oh, parry. Block. You just finish these guys off. We have no attacks to do so, though. I'm going to give myself a bludgeon. Finish off this guy. And then take this guy down just with magic. 3, 4, 5. He has 9. He's not gonna die, so I have to do a whole nother round of this. Okay. And then we can heal our buddy. And I think we just end the round. Yeah, I got nothing more to do. We should win. Like, we got him stuck in this bottleneck. The strategy worked, just hit in the bottleneck, beat them as they come to you. And we ditch our unnecessary cards. He has like no health. We're healing. Almost at max health. He has what, 2 health left? We'll just stab him in the face. Strong stab. I'll do this invigorating touch because it's super cool. Each point of damage this does heal 1. It does 7 damage. I really like, so just use that. Doesn't matter what you kill him with. And that gets us our first victory. So when you get your victory, you can collect your loot. So here's the character. Here's the where we talk about the inventory and the card system. Get our loot. We got a dwarf skill. I don't really use any dwarfs. And uncommon robes, hovering robes, because this hovering traits. So you're not affected by terrain attachments, such as other things that affect the ground, like lava pits and such, and pools of acid. They'll damage you if you're on top of them. Here's your character. Here's a little figurine. You can buy new figurines with money. We'll talk about the business model towards the end here. E experience and levels, of course. When you level up, you get more health, and you also unlock more inventory slots. When you start out, I think you have like a weapon slot and an armor slot, something like that, and then you unlock the extra weapon slots and the shield, helmet, the skills. You unlock all of that. Also, should point out these little power tokens. Those are also things you gain as you level up, and some weapons and some equipment requires power tokens, so that's kind of a way to balance it. So you need a certain level to have enough power tokens to use strong items, and I assume your character can only have so many power tokens by the time he gets, quote unquote max level. But each item gives you a set of cards. You can see you hover over these. You can see the cards we get. The more powerful cards tend to have kind of drawbacks. This is a very good penetrating forward, so penetrating ignores armor, and has 4 attack for 2 range, a couple of lunges, another penetrating attack, and another decent range attack, but also has an attack that can hurt me back. And there's some better examples in my inventory here. Let's look at this one. This one has a 6 range, 3 burning attack, and ability to create a fire pit, but also a curse that if you pull it, you take damage for every magic card you have. So there's some interesting balance in those kind of drawbacks, because it reminds me much of a deck builder. You play anything like what's a really famous one, like original deck builder. I can't remember what it's called, but the other deck builders like Legendary. If you ever play any of those, kind of familiar, because you have to build your deck, make sure you get good cards in there. You filter out the bad cards. You don't want to like plug your deck too much stuff. You can't not if you don't take an equipment slot. So I was thinking like, this whatever item doesn't give me very good cards. Maybe I'm not happy with the I don't know, the helmet cards. I'm not happy with these helmet cards, so I ditched the helmet. But you still get some basic cards off not having helmets. You don't just lose the cards. So you can't trim down and have a super small deck of just like your super powerful weapons. You have to take something in your slot. So, and then it usually gives you kind of garbage. Like armor 2 and a 3+ isn't terrible, but it's pretty lame versus ability to block projectiles, to draw cards, and a life-saving block, and then a curse. But these are pretty good cards. So that's a nice little it's like dichotomy there, dichotomy of man, but it's a nice feature there. And this guy has an unused power token. That's a cleric, and then they have different tokens. So they have all classes of different equipment. So the warrior, except for helmets and shoes, and I think shields between the warrior and the priest. The priest can even use shields. Yeah, level 6 priest gets access to shields. So that's kind of weird at first. The only 3 classes kind of weirded me out at first. I was thinking, man, where's like the barbarians and necromancers and I don't know the rangers and like big crazy list of classes and like orcs and half orcs and giant or whatever, like crazy species and classes. But it seems like they're keeping it simple, just the 3 and 3. And you can get a lot of variety with this. Like you get a lot of equipment slots. You can work in a lot of. It's more about the deck than like the character. There's only so much effect. Like making them a human really only gives them a human skill slot versus a dwarf skill slot or an elf skill slot. There's a couple differences as well, like how the movement cards they tend to get and their health, their total health. But the big change is like you get a few different flavor of cards. So I guess I'm not too worried about there being not a huge variety. But that being said, if it's such a subtle difference, they probably could afford to spread out the population a little bit. Unless there's like late game, this is the only guy you start with, and later on you get different dudes. I'm pretty sure it's not how it works. No mage, take all our stuff, and we continue on. And then, as you can see, that we didn't get any experience there. That's because this is 3 exciting battles in the adventure. You had to finish the whole adventure module to get the experience for your characters. So we go into here in this battle. There's some armored piggies and some kobold lungers. There's also these glowy areas. These glowy areas are victory points, basically. If we control that area, we get stars. You win once you get all the stars filled. That can be accomplished by either killing enemies or, controlling the victory point. So let's just run up there. Oh, I got my quickness aura. It gives me bonus move. Like a ton of bonus move. I'm so fast. They might actually be able to just punch me from here, but still super fast. And get our cleric in here. We try to lock down this victory location before these pigs get here. Our mage can go over here. Seems like a decent setup. Oh! Wait, it's keep. Okay, good. I thought some of these enchantments that also act as armor, like this one. This is an armor 1 on a 6+, but it's also a keep. There's some of them, armors and these kind of enchantments that give you a benefit, but they also act as armor, but without keep. So you can keep it for the benefit, but if an enemy attacks you, you might roll for the armor on the enchantment, and then you lose it, which is really interesting. Like, sometimes you want it to work as armor because you don't want to take the damage, but sometimes you much rather keep the benefit and not have the armor roll fail. So that's a really interesting mechanic that I've noticed. And let's just stab this guy. We have not much movement left. By not much movement, I mean no movement. Knock him back. Unfortunately, took some armored against it. Yeah, that is a rough armor. But now we can just end the round. Almost have this guy killed. When getting here, push these guys off. You see they're getting the points for controlling the round. And also in the control spaces, it's whoever has the most tiles occupied, not like number of models there. So when there's a couple of special missions I've encountered where it's extra large models, like a 4 square model, and they're taking up, that counts as 4 squares of victory points. So if they're in the victory zone, that's have to get like 4 dudes in there to contest it, which I guess is okay, which is kind of expected. I figured it to be per model, and it is not. And you can see moving next to a character reduces your movement, so I can't get out of this corner, but it's fine because you don't need to get out of the corner. All we have to do over here is kill these guys, knock them off of this. Knocking them off of this victory zone, this control zone. Oh, he moved off on his own accord. They have 8 health, 11 health. The interface is really simple, easy to read. You just hover over enemies. You can see how much health they have. You can see revealed cards. See what cards of yours are revealed, which I don't know if that affects the AI decisions at all, but obviously has much more significance in multiplayer. Oh yeah, we can just arcane feedback that guy. Fail the armor roll. Excellent. Now if he fails this, he's just gonna die. Yeah, but he's dead. Then we can run in here. And you can dash in here. And we have our victory point held. Now we just gotta hold out until they all die, or until we get all of our victory points. And if you attack in the back, see the models actually have facing, and you can use a move card, change your facing, because that affects how you can defend yourself. And also certain cards like have bonuses if they're done from the back or the front or whatever. So facing definitely has important implications here, and everyone's like full health, right? You're missing a little bit. You don't need a waste star. You don't need to waste anything here. Get rid of our attack. We probably won't need it. You don't have any attack at all. That's a bit of a problem, and neither do you. Also a bit of a problem. I do have my stab to range here, though. I can help out a little bit. Trying to kill this one. Down to 6 health. Yeah, we just didn't get our attack cards. But, you know, being a card game, sometimes you build the deck wrong, and that's what affects your draws, and sometimes even with a very good deck, you just get unlucky. Not to say that my deck's very good. I don't have, like, super duper rare items or anything. Just what I got. So if I spin, do I even have to move, or can I just... Oh, I can totally just change direction. That counts as a spinning move. Or a spinning attack. And now we just sit here because we're out of attack, so we just tank their damage. Our poor cleric is getting pretty beat up. Even with the crafted mail, which is really good. 4 armor on 4+, that's 50% for a 4 damage reduction. Don't mind that at all. Gonna turn around. Yeah, I got my parry. That one pushes enemies back if it's a lunge attack. I'm not gonna need purge, and I prefer the armor over the mobility because we're kind of trying to hold the line here. Let's give our cleric a block because he's kind of in trouble. Give him a block card. Blocking, of course, and he got attacked in the back, so he didn't get a chance to block. Blocking reduces when you block. It nullifies the card. Still not a lot of damage. Penetrate that guy. Now I'm starting to take some damage. We can finish him off with a zap, however. No, we can't see him. Line of sight. This game also has line of sight. Some squares on the grid are blocked. It's like block line of sight. And oh my gosh, this is so nice. So simple, but so nice. If you just hover over a figure, you can see his line of sight. Like, and what counts as back and front. So, the light areas are where he can see in front of him. The dark areas are where he could see behind him. And it's so nice. Like, I play XCOM, I want XCOM to have something like this. I wish they put something in XCOM like this. XCOM 2, if there's anybody involved in XCOM 2 out there, please have some indication of line of sight. Because sometimes I have no idea why or why not, or if something can see something else and it makes no sense. Especially because like a 3D environment, and you have like, oh, just put something like this in, so it makes line of sight easier. I just have so much praise just for them having this in the game. Let's have you. You can push one of these pigs back. There you go. Give yourself some space here. Has to move back. I guess zap this guy. Get him low. Try to finish him off. Block. Took that out. Care of that. And I think we just. No need to worry about that. We can just start ending the round. End of the round. Get rid of our unnecessary mobility cards, because we're, like I said, we're just holding the line here. Holy Presence, get some healing in there. Spark Inductor? Let's have... You can overkill this guy, just defend yourself. And that counts as a victory. We had enough stars from the control point. That killing that guy actually ended it. I wasn't paying attention to that, honestly. Pretend like I was cool and knew what I was doing. Oh, we are getting... Hey, it's a new divine armor I haven't gotten yet. And a cool staff. There is also... We're going to get worse treasure than we normally get, because I've already done this quest. And I think the quest reset daily, so it's like the first time you do it, you get the best treasure. You can then redo it once a day for good rewards, and then if you keep like spamming it, you get worse rewards, which seems like a fair enough system. Also, this club reward thing, we'll talk about that when we get to the business model. But keep in mind there's a special item here, and there's some extra loot here I can't get. Keep that in mind. We continue on for the last battle, the mine shaft. There's a whole bunch of kobolds in here. And I chose like the swarmy. I just kind of arbitrarily picked one. Didn't really mean to choose the super swarmy adventure module, whatever you want to call it. Let's gang up on this poor guy right here. Oh, he's gonna turn around and just chop me in the face. Well, then I'm gonna turn back around and stab him in the face. Impaler. Oh, he's super dead. You're not getting away from me. You're dead. Okay, good. We need to have our cleric get up here to kind of block these guys from getting to our mage. Our magekin. So he does 4 damage to 3 damage. It's not quite going to kill him. And I can't get in range to stab. But let's put the damage in there anyway. Actually, better yet, spark the guy behind it. Get them both weakened. And I got knocked back. What a jerk. I can't move at all. And then we just pass the turn, I think. Better yet, have you move up 1 here. So you're in range for any of your 2 ranged spells. And we end the round. There are also a lot of abilities that have, like, a damage over time occurs at the beginning or end of rounds. Wow, I'm getting pushed around. And damage over time abilities tend to occur at the beginning or end of rounds. So, you know, it's important to manage the round and when you pass and when you don't pass. Because if you pass and ends the round prematurely and you're ready for it, that can really mess up your battle plans. Let's strong stab this poor guy trying to kill me. Then we can big zap that guy. Finish him off. Oh, and they're just funneling in here. Penetrate, cut that guy. Oh, he has 4 health left. Grafted males. No, that's him. So they weren't actually killing my warrior, which is good. Gives them time to finish him off. That was only down to 3. We are gonna stay where we are. Give him a lunge. Heal the warrior. With that, the warrior can move up a little bit. Mage is fine where she is, and we can end the round. Mage, ditch your mobility. You should only need one dash, and you'll draw a new one. You always draw a mobility card. I don't know what the rule is. I don't know how that works. Because you can see in your deck what mobility cards you have. So I don't know what rule it is that means you always get a mobility card, but it's there. It's how it works. Those 2 magic cards. I probably don't have a lot of magic cards. Could invigorate. To heal. I don't think we might need to. Hard to pin. Block any on a 3+ early. I'm gonna give myself an attack card here. Yeah, hard to pin, so I got block that attack. Which is what I expect them to do, try to kill my poor warrior here. Yep, try to take him down. Try to take down, finish off this Kobold Lunger group. Alright, I swear, it's probably a little late for this. I'm sure the volume, it just feels way too loud still. I was like, ah, now it's gonna go down. And Mr. Rechthausen has gone down. Poor Mr. Rechthausen. It's okay, he's did his job. Actually, no, he had one more attack card that we wanted. Right? Didn't we have a Able Stab? The Able Stab. I thought we were able to kill Scav without using our... He must have blocked some, yeah, he must have blocked damage, I was paying attention. Well, looks like I had to finish him off with this card, overkill. I really didn't want to do that, but... You can throw that on? No, they don't have any match cards. And we end the round. Again, give our mobility. Well, let's get more mobility, and we're kind of being very stationary against these swarm tactics anyway. Which, because you have to use your turn to move, or at least when you're like 1v1, when you're on multiplayer, or if it's just a 1v1 situation, being on the defensive can be very helpful because you have to move into them, and then they can attack you. So it's being on the defensive tends to be a very positive thing. Let's be on this guy. If we get it down to one guy, we should be fine. Well, we should be fine. But we'll certainly be fine. Do it this way. Move next to him and then smashing spin back out because it's funny. Oh, he's chasing us. We'll just let it go. Get right into the round. Have to get rid of our card. Get rid of the run. You know, unreliable block is useless. It only blocks on a 6+, so the 1/6 chain saver going off. We're still probably not going to be moving. Tap him. He's dead. Alright, now just this one Kobold Spearman. Who we can, I guess, kind of chase down here. Oh, he's trying to run away. Stay on him, then. He's trying to defend himself. He's not doing a very good job. Let's block off his escape here. Throw in some heals. And now we're just poor Kobold. Doesn't know what to do with himself. Get rid of the Purge. We don't need Purge. Purge removes card effects like damage over time kind of stuff. Which is, of course, also in the game. A lot of what you would expect to be in a D&D themed game is here. Which is, as far as I can see, a very positive thing. I mean D&D theme, not a D&D actual game. Keep that in mind. Heal yourself. Just end the round. Sometimes you just don't get your attack cards and you can't do anything. Or sometimes, your attack cards aren't quite what you need. It's TK. Keep the TK around. In case he tries to get away again, we can pull him into us. Still no attacks. He's at 7 health. We can spin. Squeeze out as much damage as we can. He's trying to run away, and now we can't actually TK him because we can't see him. Be right there. Gary passed. Let's put him back into the middle of all the difficult terrain here. It is difficult, right? Yes. So now he can't move anywhere. Not to mention the fact that he is stuck in our control zones. Some health going, and end the round. Scarred Perching Burst. Now we should pull up 5 damage from somewhere. And we didn't, we have 4 damage. Yeah, there you go. Ditch the damage. He has 1 health. Make sure she stays alive. And end the round. Now he's dead. Arcane feedback. Yeah, sometimes it kind of becomes a war of attrition near the end. Just who's drawing the right card if it's really close, which can be kind of annoying. That was the last battle, so we actually now do get our experience and get the level ups. So she got an extra staff slot and another power token. Our cleric got extra health, and a shield slot. And then our warrior's too high level, so he didn't get any experience. Because if you just go through the campaign, they'll stay get the same experience, stay on the same level. You just get the same base experience for completing an adventure. But I was doing multiplayer with this guy, and then this guy came later because I replaced a different character with this cleric, and then she's what she should be. It got kind of weird. But yeah, leveling up's not, you don't like pick stats or anything. Your character just straight up gets stronger with more slots for items, which is a good way to kind of tutorialize the items as you unlock slots. At first you don't have to worry about a couple of slots in their cards and synergies, and then you slowly unlock more slots, like how do I want to specialize, what synergies do I want to worry about, how do I manage the power tokens. So it's kind of it's a decent way to handle it. And so we got a shifty skin hat, seems decent. Got this funny shuffle team, push all allies 1. Pretty funny. Pixie hide cloak, resistant hide's pretty good. Immunity to fire, poison, electricity, and acid. Healer, so that's extra. I think it's extra healing power, yeah. And walk team, bloody block. Block any, add 4 to the die roll if you're below full health. But then also vulnerable. It seems not that good. And we take it all and finish up. You could also, you saw in there, we can go to our shop, but you can go to any of these shops. Shops appear in the world map. That's the wrong shop, not the one I want to show you. That's the buy back your junk shop. That's the regular shop. So you buy a variety of items. You can also sell stuff. So we tend to sell things that have like triplicates, or if it's useless. Like I don't need. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. It sells for 1. A lot of it's really weird. The campaign locks you from selling equipment for like a long time. It took me like several hours of play to actually get the ability just to unlock regular junk. So if I want to sell these shoes for 1 gold, I can. But it took me a long time to get to that point where the game actually let me, which is really, really weird. I assume so you don't sell all your stuff, but it seems very pedantic, very elementary. Like if I sell my stuff, like I know if I sell it, it's gone. You don't have to like babysit me and be like, no, don't sell your stuff. You might need it. Like don't patronize me like that. Unlock me selling items is very strange. And then that's the single player. You go through, level up your characters, you buy cool stuff. Some of the stuff very expensive, as you can see. But also, if we set this to like usable by, I don't know, like nope, you're not a divine guy. Like just shields we can look at. Guess this isn't the right store when you go to a regular store. Go to the regular shop they're just at. And this should be able to display it properly, what I want to see. Like heavy armor. No, it's not there. Huh. Sort by level? Yeah, there we go. Okay, sort by level, that's the problem. So you get, if it's above, if your level is above your renown, you see these are, or I guess not strictly, because this one's level 9, level's 8, but it's a regular price. But if an item's too powerful, you have to pay extra. You can still get it. Like, there's no level restrictions on the character, so even though my character's level 8 and is a level 12 armor and is a level 9 armor, he could wear these if he has the right power tokens for it, but it would just cost more to buy this item. And that scales up. We try to buy some, so we go back to that rare shop and look at some of that nonsense. Go back here. Sort by level. See, some of this is super expensive, like level 20 legendary shield. It costs 30,000 gold. And a yellow power token. It has some really cool, really great stuff. Laser block. If it blocks a melee card, create a random melee laser attack and put it in your hand. If it blocks a magic projectile card, create a random magic laser attack, and it's on a 2+. That's stupid good. You also have just really good stuff. Like, there's some good stuff in this game. Genetic engineering. What what kind of card? There's some crazy stuff in here. Yeah, some lightsabers, radioactive spray. Oh my gosh, there's some insane things in here that do cost a ton of money, like a ton of gold to get. And then and use that to build up. You figure it out. Use the equipment. Each equipment has cards. You build up your card, build up your deck, and go through those kind of tactical grid-based battles. But that brings us to the business model. So you have your normal gold, your regular gold, in-game currency that you get for doing co-op, also multiplayer. We'll talk about multiplayer in a moment. But you also have pizza slices that you buy for money. So we go to pizza slices. We can buy 150 for $5. Not too terrible. Not too terrible. You can use those, or you can just buy packages. But you can use those slices to buy new figures. So figure 80 pizza slices. That's like a couple bucks, and you get a variety of figures if you so desire. I kind of want either this. Ooh, looking at it, I'm like, okay, these guys look kind of cool. Now you get this like Jaguar warrior looking dude. No. You get some for free. You just for going through the campaign. And then you can also buy more currency, which is kind of the big thing. Convert 1 pizza into 10 gold. So you buy pizza, convert it into gold. So you just buy the in-game gold. You can also subscribe to the Card Hunter Club, which is a subscription kind of model thing here, which gives you the extra item drop. Yep, it gives you the extra item drop. So remember I was talking about that. There's that item we couldn't access. If you have the subscription, you get that one bonus item, and as far as I can tell, that's all it does. And it's kind of expensive, but you get extra item per treasure chest. Not too bad. The thing is, you can just buy. Just buy a little bit of pay to win in here, considering I can just go to a rare shop and find some awesome items and just buy it. Be like, oh, 30,000 shield, 30,000 gold shield. Well, if I spend enough money, I can just buy this with real money. Pizza slices the gold to buying it. It would take quite a bit. It's what was it? 10 gold per pizza slice? Yeah, 10 gold per pizza slice. So, oh my gosh, that would be like, what, 3,000 pizzas? Which would be, well, you get $100 if you buy the one package. But if I have $100 to burn and want to buy Blox's Unyielding Bulwark, I could. This character couldn't use it in the campaign because it doesn't have a power orb. But that brings us kind of to the multiplayer. The multiplayer, this is going to be hopefully no one says anything offensive in chat, but multiplayer, all your characters are normalized. So if you go to a multiplayer party here, and here's a pre-made. These are the pre-made party that you get for just doing this tutorial. So you have it's tutorialized, and you get a free multiplayer party. You can bring in your campaign party and give them items if you want to. Like, there's nothing to stop you from that. But you see, I didn't have all these power orbs in the campaign. You have the levels are normalized, so you have your health, you have full assortment of power orbs. You can use whatever equipment you want, and you can bring that party into combat with you. But like I said, you can just go buy that stupid amount of equipment if you can't use it in the campaign, and put it on your characters and go into multiplayer. And there's a definite pay to win aspect there. It's not too bad. It is like punishingly expensive early on to like buy all that crazy equipment, but still definitely there. And multiplayer, it's pretty much as what you saw in the single player, except of course playing against another opponent who has a party of 3, and you get different. You guys get different equipment, different strategies, and it is pretty fun. It's a lot of people playing it. Although, yeah, sometimes, you just run to people that got stupid, powerful drops. I would definitely recommend maybe the pre-made parties have some good, they start with some good stuff and are decently. They have a decent amount of power and competitiveness, but I would approach it with a bit of a casual attitude. Don't take it too seriously. Don't be crazy invested in trying to be the top player in multiplayer unless you want to spend a whole bunch of money on crazy stuff. You do get good rewards though. Every win you get a chest. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, up to the 20th win. I'm pretty sure this is daily. So you can get like 20 chests per day, 20 good chests per day for multiplayer wins. So it is lucrative in a sense. You do get lots of chests for multiplayer. And the chests, the gold ones, 1 epic or better, 1 rare or better, and 2 random items. 1 epic or better, 2 rare or better, and then the great 21, 2 epic or better, and 2 random items. You can get a lot of good stuff out of playing multiplayer. But you definitely have to go through kind of the growing pain aspect of building up to the good items, which I guess that is a big part of what the campaign is. I am coming off of this after only playing maybe like 2.5, 3 hours of campaign. It's probably more than that, to be honest. It's just, I kind of lose track of time playing this game, but only playing a couple of campaigns. So I'm sure we go through the entire campaign, which is very huge. Like, let's be generous, say like 4 to 5 hours. This is all I have unlocked. And if we, well, I guess some of that I was redoing stuff, messing around with co-op. So let's just say like 3.5 to 4 hours. We got all this done, and then there's all this, and I assume all this is populated because when you first start out, you get like these two things down here, and you kind of just move around the map. So I assume that pattern is going to continue, and we have a whole lot of map to cover. So that's pretty cool. I really like that. Seems a lot of single player content. I'm sure once you get through that, the multiplayer is going to seem less pay to win. I'm sure you'll get pretty decent stuff, and it's not going to be such a big deal, especially because many of the items, as you saw, have kind of drawbacks to them. So I guess I'm approaching the early on multiplayer. Might be a little bit of, I'm not sure about it, so reserving final judgment on that. But I'm sure once you get a whole bunch of experience in the single player, plus all the equipment and stuff through that, it's not going to seem nearly as bad. So I would. The multiplayer seems fun, and it seems to have potential. I don't think I'm far enough in the game to have a proper idea of how it works, of how the multiplayer will end up being, like late game multiplayer. I don't know how that is. So I would reserve judgment on that, but it does seem to have potential. And I would recommend approaching it with a casual attitude at first. And other than that, it's a whole lot of venturing. There's also co-op play. You bring in a friend, play with them. I've been playing a lot with Default, because this game is right up our alley. So you can battle alongside other players. You both pick a character and go to battle. It's kind of weird for just 2 players because you each get one single character. So that's 2 characters, which is not enough to... it's not enough to make... It makes these really challenging. These are meant for like your normal 3-player party that you have as an individual. You have co-op and you only bring in 2 characters. It's suddenly way harder, which does add a fun little bit of challenge. So if you're in a challenge, do the co-op because that makes it more challenging, and also you're playing with a friend, which is great. Should note, this game it's not hard. Yeah, it has a decent amount of challenge. I've been challenged quite a few levels. Have to pick up new strategies, change the loadouts and all that, which is perfect. Like, the game is not pushover easy. I'm sure some people find it easier than I do, but I'm sure also people probably find it harder. I like the challenge level, particularly on these stupid. There's like pre-mades. Like pre-made adventures, so like click here and it's an adventure. If I go into it and like battle, it's not my normal guy, it's like a pre-made scenario. So I'm this little rust creature and I have to kill all these dudes, and I'm just this one little guy and have to do a whole bunch of like skirmish tactics and take advantage of the cards, and it is very challenging. And that's just this one battle. In order to complete the adventure, to actually have it done, I have to go through 2 more like that. And you can only die 3 times before you get kicked out of the adventure. So it is, some levels are really challenging. Particularly ones where you can't, just grind up super powerful artifacts and go kill them all. So that is our look at Card Hunter, a surprisingly deep and complex, what was a browser-based Flash game now on Steam. And I've been enjoying it way more than I ever expected. Would highly recommend people to check it out if you're interested in deck building, card collecting, RPGs, or just burning time in some like tactical turn-based combat and punching goblins. I would highly recommend it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more. Follow me on Twitch, Twitter, all that guys know the deal. And I will see you next time.